I'd be down for that. Neon signs are cool. So you want to break somebody's window, take apart a Porsche all the way down to the frame.
Also take apart the frame because I feel like the frame wouldn't fit through the window.
Take apart the frame.
We're done. We're done talking about this.
Victory. I won. This is Twin Stick Radio, episode 38 for October 2nd, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Trey Higgins, and I'm joined by Chris Rodriguez.
On October 2nd. Since
did I
it
say?
is October 2nd, you can't say this is the episode for October 2nd on October 2nd.
I mean, it is the episode for October 2nd.
No, because this episode's going to come out in like 2 or 3 days. So
Sure,
it'll be
but like
October
you
the 4th when the episode comes out.
But we're recording on October 2nd, and that's when we're collecting
Which
the
is why you
news.
say on
Nope,
October 7th.
I'm going to say 4. And Justin T. Lopez.
Maybe they just have to wait a whole year to listen to this one. It's like, do not open until October 2nd of 2019.
Would you be able to? So there was a story
Yes.
about this lady. She's some famous author, but basically she wrote a book.
It's J.K. Rowling.
No. She wrote a book, and it's stored in this place where no one can read it until the year 3000. So it's just like sitting in like this like time capsule library where there's other works and books, but no one's read it except for her apparently, and it won't be available until the year 3000. Would you be able, like, if you were the person that's like curating this collection of shit that can't be read or like looked at until the year 3000, would you be able to resist reading it? I feel like I wouldn't be.
Yes, because I just don't care enough.
I feel like I would need to read it only because I don't believe that she wrote anything.
It just says, you
just
stupid motherfuckers.
It's just a blank book.
It's just like
tricked everybody.
Just one page, and it's like lulls. Like, I was here.
Yeah, I just don't care enough. So 100%.
What a bold claim. Like,
But like
how important do you think
How
you
full
are?
of yourself do you think you are when you like, oh, I'm going to write the best book ever and it's not going to be written until 3000?
That's like someone gave that lady a lot of money, and she just procrastinated and didn't write it. And then it's like, all right, where's our book? And she's like, I wrote the best book ever.
I don't think
she's read it.
I don't think she's claiming that it's the best book ever.
I wrote a book.
Yeah, I think it's just
I
wrote a book and you can't read it until the year 3000, which I think says a lot about how like I might actually have oppositional defiancy disorder because I want to read it because you told me I can't. He doesn't care, and you want to read it because you don't believe it.
Yeah.
That sounds like something millennials made up.
No, it's a real thing.
What is it?
I'm sure it probably like made a surge in the last 20 years.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like
'cause it's something
vaccines.
millennials made up.
Like chicken pox and
Oh yeah, sure.
smallpox.
Totally
and-
made up chicken pox.
Yep.
In the last 20 years, chicken pox was made up.
Hey man,
100%.
there's been a surge.
Has there? I don't
Beats
think
me.
there has.
I would guess there would be with all these fucking anti-vaxxers.
No, that's literally like worse than chicken pox. If you don't get your babies vaccinated, like they develop lung disease
And
fucking
malaria.
malaria.
Oh, yeah, chicken pox
It's
isn't a-
worse than fucking chicken pox.
There isn't a vaccine for chickenpox. You're supposed to catch it early, and then you have a natural vaccine.
No, there's a
No,
vaccine.
there's a vaccine for chicken pox.
Is there?
Yeah.
I had it.
Oh.
I've never had chicken pox.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm probably gonna die.
However, if you do get chicken pox at a very young age, that's good because the virus, something in children, it can't mature to like its full.
Yeah, it won't kill you.
It won't kill you basically.
And
Yeah,
then-
but like if a 35 or 40-year-old were to get chicken pox, you're like it could be real bad.
Aren't
But
you
once
immune?
once you have chicken pox, then you
It's
can get
really-
shingles.
Yeah,
But
you can get shingles.
aren't you immune to chickenpox after you catch it?
You're supposed to be. I don't think it's
maybe like a
Because isn't that why
not like
parents
an-
have like chickenpox
I would
parties?
say you're resistant.
what parents have chicken pox parties?
Yeah, where like if one kid gets chickenpox, they'll have like a sleepover with all their kids, so all their kids catch it. That way they can't get it when they're older and die. But I also, like I said, I think it gives you an immunity to chickenpox after the first time you catch it.
How is that
Yeah.
okay?
It's a thing. Oh.
But also,
That
if
doesn't
there's
mean
a,
it's okay.
but if there's a vaccine
Killing
for
somebody,
chickenpox-
killing somebody's a thing. That doesn't mean it's okay.
But what if you
Feeding
like, have
somebody raw
what if you
chicken
have,
is a
like-
thing. That doesn't mean it's okay.
But what if you have like a murder party or like a eating
Oh, sure,
raw
that makes it
chicken
okay.
party?
Yeah, sure, that
I
makes
feel like
it okay
that's
then.
at that point that just kind of sounds like a cult.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it's not.
No, but yeah, like people you want your kid
I understand the idea behind it. It's still not okay. It's not okay to purposely. It's a thin line of purposely getting your kid pretty sick in order to, save him in the future.
It's worth it.
I had
I
chicken
guess.
pox, but I don't remember it being a big deal.
It's because you were probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
think
you
I
just
think
don't
I was,
remember.
yeah.
Because you just don't remember.
What's
it.
your earliest memory? My earliest memory is like crawling on the floor, and there were cupcakes, and there was like a party going on, and then someone picked me up because I was trying to get to the cupcakes.
Explains so much.
What's your earliest memory? Seriously.
Memories are all flashes, right? People describe these vivid memories of when they're kids. I just don't understand how they remember shit in vivid detail like that. However, the earliest memory, which has to be before 5, and not like because I saw a picture, just because this is what I remember, is playing with my Ninja Turtles on our second story balcony in our A-frame house, and Raphael dying by falling off the balcony into the bushes down below the balcony. That's
Dark
it.
kid.
It's just it's just flashes, right? Because you can't. I don't understand how anybody remembers vivid details about anything. I just don't.
I have an early memory of.
Earliest memory.
I feel like this is the earliest memory. I
Not
remember,
because of pictures either.
It's not a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen pictures of this party with cupcakes.
I distinctly remember, and I'm scarred from this.
That's weird that you've never seen a picture of a party with cupcakes.
No, like of this party that I'm talking
Got
about
it.
specifically.
I don't know how old, but I'm thirsty, and there's a Dr. Pepper can sitting on the counter. So I'm like, I'm gonna drink this sweet Dr. Pepper, because Texas, and I go to drink it, and it was filled with just cigarette ashes.
Yep. That happened to me when I was like 4 or 5. My grandpa would smoke, and he had like a soda can in his car, and he would like put the cigarette butts in there, but there was like still a little bit of soda, so he'd put them out. And I remember he like went in, he left me in the car to do something, and I was thirsty, so I drank. Oh, it's horrible.
It's like I
That's
will
disgusting.
forever remember that, because it was just one. It's like how we talked about the other day. Whenever you go to drink something and it's not what you're expecting,
Yeah.
now multiply that times like 1,000,000.
Sure.
It's not even the right substance.
Sure. So don't smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I also remember there was a time, as a kid, I used to enjoy putting my head out the window of the car like a dog.
Explains a lot.
Explains so much.
Like normal kids do. And I'm riding with my grandma, and she doesn't realize that, or she assumed that my head was out the window, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna roll the window up, lean back in." My head's out the window. I can't hear anything. I just hear the glorious wind in my ears, so I don't hear anything. And then she rolls up the window, and I'm like choking. Like, she rolled it up high enough to where I'm like banging on the inside of the car. Because I almost died. And I don't think I ever put my head out the window ever again.
It's probably to teach you a lesson. You
Yeah.
shouldn't put your head out the window. This explains so much about everybody. I mean, I told you the story about me leaving class at like kindergarten because I didn't want to be there and I thought the teacher was an asshole.
Yeah,
Like that explains me. That explains you, and the cupcake story pretty much explains Trey.
damn.
If you guys haven't listened to us before, we're a podcast about video games. We record weekly, and we are usually up, but I don't know. We have a new recording date, so we're still trying to figure out when the episode will be up. But I will amend this part of the introduction whenever we figure out how that's going to work. We start this show with the same segment every single week. Justin, what are you playing?
So, played more Spider-Man.
Okay.
I feel like I'm almost done.
You're about to miss the download date for Destiny if you haven't added it to your library.
I figured I missed it because
You got
today's
a couple days.
I
Really?
think
I think,
You have a couple days.
even though it's already October. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was gonna do it today.
Usually you have a couple days. Depends on the reset.
I was gonna do it today, but I assumed that it was already
Or
too
you
late.
going to do it today?
Yes,
I don't believe you.
I could show you a work conversation that was me talking about how I was
at
gonna
this
do it
point,
today.
you might as well just go buy like the collection because it's
Yeah.
going to cost you more to get all the DLC with the free
It'll
download.
cost the exact same.
Yeah, which is
As the
why I
collection.
wasn't. That's
Actually,
just why I wasn't
think
like
it's
in
more
like
now.
a
I think
huge
the
rush.
DLC went back to its original price.
That would be stupid.
Would it be stupid
Yeah,
if they
I mean-
had it on sale for people who got Destiny 2 for free?
Yes, because that would still be more money that they're spending. Even if you got it for free, it would be more beneficial for somebody to go buy the Destiny collection for $60 and get everything than to buy Warmind, Osiris, and Forsaken all for $80 if they went up in price. And you got Destiny for free. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I was talking about for it being discounted.
Right. If it's still discounted, then it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. If it's not discounted anymore, then it's more beneficial, even if you got Destiny 2 for free, to go buy the collection.
Yeah,
Because it's only $60.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, played Spider-Man. And then, so I saw some videos online, and it was like GTA videos, and I was like, I don't know, it was one of those things where like it sparked my interest in like oh, I want to play that game. So I booted up GTA and played some fun races on that. That's pretty fun.
So if you're PlayStation Plus subscribed, it's still 50% off for both expansions. But it looks like from what I can tell on here, it looks like they pulled off the base game, and the only SKU that's purchasable is the collection.
So it's the same price no matter what.
Basically.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just buy the collection.
Fun stuff. Sorry to throw you off. What did you say you played?
It's okay. GTA as well.
GTA?
Yeah.
PC or PS4 or Xbox?
PC. Yeah. Because I think I at one point uninstalled GTA because it was on my Xbox because it took up so much space.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question.
Okay.
You're like, hey, I could play some GTA.
Uh-huh.
Did at any time in your Anaheim, Canada brain, did you think, oh, I'm going to play a game where I enjoyed playing with a lot of my friends. I should maybe text my friends and be like, hey, you guys want to play some GTA? It'll be a lot of fun. Where we all would have been like, you know what? Sure, that sounds like a lot of fun.
You're asking if I had that thought?
Yes.
No.
Right. This is why you think Anaheim's in fucking Canada.
Blame my grandma who choked me of life. My brain was in early development and it was lacking oxygen for who knows.
How old were you?
Who knows how long?
If you were old enough to hold up your own body outside of a window, then I think you're
My
old.
brain was still developing.
I don't know about that. How old were
Your
you?
brain develops till you're like,
25.
yes.
Sure,
Sure.
but the lack of oxygen to the brain, I think like how much lack of oxygen are we talking here? Are we talking a matter of minutes where you were like, or are we
no,
talking like
I mean-
2 seconds?
It was not 2 seconds.
Was it not
It
2
had
seconds?
to be 10 seconds.
I don't believe you for a second. There's no way
What about 10 seconds?
There's no way your grandmother choked you out with a fucking car window for 10 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, that should
We'll-
be a
we'll
name
bring
of
her
an
on.
album. Choked you out with a car window.
It's morbid.
What'd you
Featuring
do?
my
What did you
grandma.
do in G? Stop making me laugh.
Are you sick? You sound sick.
I'm getting over my sick. I got a cold on Tuesday,
Yeah,
and
but
then
let's
I was
be
really
honest,
sick
you
on Wednesday.
laugh and you cough all the time.
It's worse right now because there's mucus and shit.
Sure, but
Justin, what'd you do in GTA?
I did like some fun races. What did they add in?
probably a ridiculous race.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily like transform races. I just like doing the races where it involves like hitting the ramp on the side and doing like wall rides and stuff, or doing like, kind of like flips, just fun stuff. It was fun for a little bit. It would have been more fun with other people.
Sure, I'm sure it would have been. It's amazing.
Next time, I got you.
No, you don't.
Probably not.
Yeah, not at all.
That's like whenever I invited you to my apartment.
Just by Destiny. Just do it.
Why?
Because it's so much fun.
I'm gonna play it, and then I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna play with you guys, and then Chris is gonna be like, "Do what I tell you."
No.
I'm gonna be like, "But
No.
I
Yeah,
wanna."
no, I
Nope.
literally don't sound like that when I play Destiny with people.
Nope.
I'm basing it off of my other experiences with you.
That wasn't me. That was Daniel.
Yeah, I don't know. So Chris and I have been playing Destiny, obviously. I don't know. Oh, Chris does have something else to talk about, but we've been playing Destiny, obviously, and I think I've mostly just been playing with him. Like I've maybe played like 3 or 4 hours by myself this last week, but it's totally chill. It's like you jump on the blind well. As long as you're shooting things, you can't really fuck it up.
It's true.
We both grinded for the escalation protocol shotgun
Or
yesterday.
if we're doing the last part of a heroic event, and there's a boss there, and his shield's down, and you're like, sweet, this is where everybody pops their supers, and then you just see a shot go, phew,
Yep.
way the fuck over the boss.
That happened today. Yep.
And then you hear Trey go, fuck.
Definitely. We were fighting this boss in the final thing in the blind well. And I just shoot it, and it literally just right over his shoulder. Like if he'd been a real person, it would have like kissed his ear on its way out. And I was like, oh well, shit. But yeah, it's we
Always
got to
shoot him at the feet.
we got to check out the new dungeon that they released this last week. That's not going to be back for another 2 weeks. We didn't get very far in it, but it was super, super cool. I don't know. I obviously I think we both still have our problems, and there are probably things that will come up at some point during this podcast about the problems we have. But I really do think Destiny's in the best place it's ever been. Like it's a ton of stuff to do. It's fun. I have things that I wish it would fix, but that's just Destiny in a nutshell all the time.
Yep.
Nice. That's good. How long is so the dungeon? You said it comes around every 2 weeks.
3. Well, technically, it's on a 3-week cycle
Every third week you can go play it.
How long is it available? Like how long
for the entire week.
Yeah,
for the
until
whole week.
reset,
Okay,
yeah.
that's not bad.
It's just for a really high, like once you like the first encounter, you can pretty much do as long as you have one person. That's a fairly high power level. But after the first encounter, it's pretty much everyone on the fire team has to be 370 or higher, or you're just not going to complete it.
Is there gonna
570 or higher?
570.
Is there gonna be like elements that change? Like
We don't know yet. I would assume not, but because
So-
it does.
They're doing something really interesting. Is they have set up this Dreaming City to have a 3-week cycle. So first, second, and third week, and then it basically resets itself back to the first week. It's just really cool because they're working it into the story. So I expected to sign in this morning and just basically go do all the same thing that we did week one, which we did, except every single NPC acknowledges that it's reset itself. And they make note, like, if we don't follow the exact same thing we did, then we lose the Dreaming City, because the whole thing is like, you have to do the same thing so you always get to the same ending. So case in point, in the week one after the raid, once the raid was beaten, this whole thing started. And the first mission, right, the first story mission after the raid was called Broken Courier, where you have to go help one of Petrovenge's couriers who got injured in the field and put out a distress signal. So week 2 goes, week 3 goes, 2 more story missions. We reset and come back to week 1. And Petra, it's the same exact mission. You do the exact same things. However, Petra and the courier are like, if we don't do this the exact same way, we risk losing the Dreaming City, because it's it's like time.
It's like a temporal loop.
It's like a temporal loop that we're all stuck in, and the story is trying to figure out how to break it, because the reason we're in this temporal loop is the main big baddie. You care? You're the one that's always about spoilers. Okay. The main big baddie has basically used Riven, which is the raid boss, to create a last wish that the Ahamkar granted to basically make this loop happen. And what's going on is the main bad guy is basically siphoning power. This is like an endless battery. And she's siphoning power every single time it resets. So we're making her more and more powerful. So I think the initial story is, as Guardians and stuff like that, we're still doing the same thing over and over and over again. But as we progress, we're still trying to figure out how to break the loop.
right, you're aware that you're doing. it over and
Everybody's
over
aware that we're reliving the same events over and over. It's
Cool.
super fucking cool, man.
If you don't do it over again, you lose the Dreaming
Yeah,
City.
you can-
and it's
yeah.
this place of just extreme power. So we don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
But
So until we can figure something out, we're
To, like,
forced
break
to do
the
it
cycle.
over and over again. Yeah, it's a genius
Wow.
way to work in that whole, like, well, that's basically like, hey, we only have 3 weeks of content. How can we make it to where we can reset? And players are like, well, that's dumb. It's just resetting itself over and over. It's really cool. Good shit.
We'll see if it wears off.
I don't
If-
know,
if-
man.
if, like,
I gotta, if they're making it story based, I have a really, really hard time thinking that in the next like 2 cycles we don't get a pretty big
Like payoff.
or reveal, or by
Yeah.
December, because December is the next DLC. December is the Black Armory. So unless we get a pretty big payoff in December or sometime around there, it might be a little old after a while. But unless they have something new, and it's right, nothing's changed except for NPC voiceover. So, and honestly, that changing every week is enough for me because it's
Yeah.
still forwarding the story. I understand we're in this weird temporal loop.
Yeah, I could see them doing something in December because that's close enough to where do the same cycle, maybe like
That's going to be like 4 or 5 times probably.
So I'm thinking like 3, maybe the 4th time, maybe like the last, like the time before, before like this the DLC comes out, just change the voice lines again to where it's like, I think we're getting close. I think we're on to
Honestly,
something.
I think the thing that's going to change it majorly again is whenever they launch the Prestige raid.
Possibly.
I could see that being the next thing where it's like, oh, something's changed in the Dreaming City, because I feel like they're going to pull that into the story aspect.
The problem is the Prestige Raid is probably going to launch soon because people are already hitting 600. So I would say the Prestige Raid launches in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And the problem with that is if the story ends in 2 to 3 weeks, then what?
Well, I don't think the story is going to end. I think that's just going to be the next major change to the cycle.
Sure, but then we lose the Shattered Throne dungeon.
No. You're adding something into the cycle rather than taking something out or ending the cycle. Because I think this whole cycle is going to keep going until they address the big bad situation, right? Until we confront the
But
big
you just
bad.
said that's going to happen.
No. I don't think that's going to happen until next September.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
I think instead
Okay,
of
I
like
understand.
ending the cycle, they're
So
just going
we're
to
all
keep
saying
adding
the
shit
exact
in.
same thing.
Yeah. I'm just
okay.
saying that the Prestige raid is
Usually
probably,
how it goes.
Yeah, seriously. It's
probably
we're
gonna
all
be
saying the
when
same
that
damn thing.
happens.
Got it.
What else are you playing?
I went ahead and got on September 25th. They released Pathfinder Kingmaker, and it's a isometric top-down RPG based in the Pathfinder universe.
Okay.
And so it looked really super interesting.
On
and-
PlayStation? What?
No, PC. And I really like top-down RPGs, Pillars of Eternity. We were talking about them, Wasteland 2,
Divinity.
the original Fallouts, Divinity Original Sin. It's basically just like Divinity Original Sin.
Cool. But just like in the Pathfinder.
But it's in the Pathfinder universe. And what they did, which is super fucking cool, is as I was debating on whether or not I wanted to get this, of course you go read Steam reviews, right? There's a huge mixed bag of Steam reviews. And a lot of people were saying like this game doesn't explain everything correctly. It's too complicated, blah 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 blah. Other people were like this game's really really great minus the bugs. This is fun, blah. So I was mixed reviews. I just went it's $40 I went and got it.
That's kind of expensive.
$40
On a gamble?
for
I
a
don't know.
$200 hour RPG.
I guess not, yeah.
Absolutely not. I've gambled with way fucking like $60 games. Trust me, 40 is not that bad. Anyway, so I bought it, jumped in, and I expected to have like Pillars of Eternity had a pretty big learning curve. So did like Tides of Numeria and stuff like that. So I expected to have that problem. But as soon as I jumped in and got into character creation, I like the light bulb went off. It's like I understand why people think this is complicated, and I guarantee you the people who think it's complicated have never played D&D or Pathfinder, because everything translates directly from that core rulebook. Everything, from spells to stats to skills to feats, everything that we play every Thursday night is literally in this video game. And it's really, really fucking cool going through. And I was making my character. I made the character I play here, Arkin. And I made him literally exactly the way he is on my stat sheet. I made him in this game.
Character customization, is it better than Divinity? Like, because Divinity was very simple.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's not.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like you got like 5 faces and maybe like 6 haircuts to choose from.
Could you make Arkin the way you?
Arkin pretty much looks exactly
Picture?
the way I thought he would.
Okay,
look,
cool.
Before the whole necrotic transformation
Right.
shit, but he looks pretty much exactly the way I thought he would look. And to an extent, like in my mind, the way Gareth looks, I could have made him. I can probably make Braum pretty damn close.
I mean, Braum is generic.
Yeah,
dwarf,
Galley.
so-
I that's the thing is I can go ahead and make everybody, and as long as I have your stat sheets, I can actually make you guys in this game. Pick the same feats, pick the same skills. Some skills don't translate because there's no performance skill because there's no performance challenges in the game, but there are points in the game as you're playing. You get to this point and you click on the icon, and depending on your skill, behind the scenes, the game rolls die for you. So even at the beginning of battle, you see on your little battle feed, it says, Arkin rolled 17 initiative, Assassin Run rolled a 5 initiative, and it goes down. It's like, it gives you the initiative so you know who goes first. And like I said, it also you run into skill checks. So you run into like, oh, these burning, 2x4s have fallen in front of you. Make a strength skill check. So choose your character with the highest strength. Have them click on it because they're more likely to succeed than somebody with low strength. So basically, it's literally D&D in a video game. It's really fun. It's pretty fucking cool, man. It's a lot of fun so far. The customization's fun. That's the best part about it.
Does it? So we talked about this a long time ago with how you can never create D&D in a video game because
you can't because it's still following a linear story.
Right. So is there enough wiggle room to where you're
No.
still no?
I mean,
Absolutely
the,
not.
the thing about like the strength checks and performance, well, not performance checks, but all that, like that, those have existed in video games for a really long time. That was directly
Sure.
ripped off from D&D. I mean, Knights of the Old Republic has that.
Sure.
In it.
Yeah.
But like to his point, like that doesn't make it D&D.
Right.
It's just taking a system.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to see because I mean this is something we had talked about.
Because
previously.
the thing we've talked about is that the freedom of choice in D&D can never be replicated in a video game. That's so no, it's not. But from like literally looking at a player's handbook and then playing this game, it's not 1-to-1, but it's pretty damn close because it's really, and as you level up every third, sixth, 12th and 17th level, you get your major class upgrades, just like you do in tabletop. It's really cool.
Is it just the linear story, or is there like a?
No, it's just pretty linear story.
There's not like a dungeon master mode where you can like make like your
I don't
own
think
thing.
so. I'm only like maybe 5 hours into it, so I don't think so.
'Cause
I could be wrong though.
Divinity had that, right?
Yeah, Divinity has it, but Divinity also isn't like. Divinity is basically the exact same game. There's no difference except it's the thing that makes this one kind of unique is that it literally is ripped from the player's handbook and put into a video game. Where other video games don't do that. They have their own systems and their own ways of doing things.
Divinity is basically Dungeons and Dragons, but it doesn't. It copies some things, but it has some original things, but it also doesn't make it as obvious that it's rolling die all the time.
Right. So it's fun. It's fun so far. It's pretty cool, like 3D seeing Arkin, because it is pretty damn close to what I thought he would look like. So
Yeah. You guys ready for the news?
Yes.
We have 6 items, but they're all pretty meaty items. So let's get into it.
that's what she said.
Rockstar released the second gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. This time they showed off the plethora of open world activities as well as the new Deadeye system and first person mode. I figured instead of like showing,
I was like, man, that is the
instead of breaking down everything and me talking for 6 hours about what they showed, I figured we could just talk about it because it probably would create a more interesting conversation. So what do you guys think of the second 4-minute gameplay trailer?
I thought, especially after just playing GTA this week, it looks a lot like GTA 5 with just like a Western skin on it. And I know like that's.
You must have watched that trailer in like 480.
What do you mean? Oh well, not necessarily like graphics wise, just like I don't know, just like
In terms
seeing
of gameplay?
just seeing like the what's it called, reticle, like the little like dot like aiming stuff. I don't know, just like it felt a lot like GTA.
Are you comparing a Rockstar game to
To a
another
Rockstar game? Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I don't
your base is a little off.
Right.
I don't know what it was about that trailer. Like maybe it was just the fact that I'm watching someone else play a game, but in first person mode, and I also think
Yeah,
in
first
third person
does
mode,
not look like fun.
I thought that the gunplay looked way better than it was in GTA 5. I don't know. It looks a little bit just from me not having hands on to the game. It looks a little bit more snappier than it is in GTA 5.
Sure, I
like
mean, they've
it
had-
relies less on the auto aim.
Sure,
than
well,
GTA 5
Rockstar's
does.
had 5 years to improve their system, right? So
Yeah.
of course it's going to feel like that. I
But,
would assume.
but I think that's I think with GTA, I think you get away with having sloppy gunplay a little bit because
You can run
it's-
somebody over with a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that even the first Red Dead kind of suffered from the fact that it relied too much on GTA style gunplay.
Sure.
I feel like for that kind of game, your guns have to work a little bit better. But that's just what it looked like from the trailer.
I think Red Dead Redemption 1, the stickiness of your guns was way more than GTA because, in GTA, you're never going for like you're not always just going for headshots all the time because you have a fucking auto rifle that's shooting 400 rounds a minute. So even if you just lay out into somebody's chest, they're gonna die within seconds. In Red Dead, you have a 6-round revolver, and so you have 6 rounds to put somebody down before you are kind of shit out of luck into a reload animation.
Yeah, your shot counts.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think the stickiness from Red Dead 1 to me translated into this more because in Red Dead, like shooting somebody in the knee matters. In Grand Theft Auto, shooting some dude in the knee is not worth it in any way, shape, or form. You just fucking lay into their chest and let that recoil go to their head, right?
Yeah.
But in Red Dead Redemption, for sure, shooting somebody in the knee would drop them to a knee, which means their gun would drop too. That translated more for me, which is also why I like Red Dead more than Grand Theft Auto, because there's more to the combat system than just right.
Yeah, I agree.
That first person mode is not. I don't
see
think
myself.
I don't think Rockstar games translate into first person well at all.
I really, from what I saw, I really liked it. I liked it more
Really?
than I liked it more than the GTA first.
Sure.
GTA first person is very gimmicky.
It feels like a mod. GTA first person totally feels like a mod to me.
I don't see myself playing Red Dead Redemption in first person mode, but like even when I first saw GTA 5 in a trailer in first person mode, it looked just like shit. It's not interesting. It's not cool. And the Red Dead trailer, I was like, oh, this looks like it was built in the game for the purpose of being here the entire time. Whereas like GTA 5, it was just a gimmick.
It looked more cinematic, like because especially like the scene where he's walking through the building, he goes to shoot, like that looked really cool in first person.
Sure, but it's all about camera placements, right? Like I think Rockstar doesn't place their camera in a very good spot for first person. I feel like Rockstar literally
It's like I feel like they put it in the center of the chest.
feel like they put it up on their face. So like when you're looking at your guns. Like if you're playing Destiny, even if your gun's facing straight forward, your camera's like right here, so that gun takes up most of your screen, right?
Well, that's most first person.
Sure, and
shooters.
that's the way it kind of should be. But when you raise that camera up, that gun drops. So like Red Dead, it looked like your guns were like at the bottom corners of your screen, and I don't think that, to me, that doesn't translate well into a first person shooter. So. And I could be 100% wrong. Some people may like GTA and Red Dead in first-person mode better, but I just don't. Number one,
I don't think I would play it.
Number one, I was already sold on this game. There's no reason in the world why I'm not picking up this game. But the one thing that sold me on even more is so stupid that I'm going to say it anyway. The narrator chick was like, grow your hair out, shave, or bathe, or don't. I'm in.
Yeah.
I can just grow my beard out and just let my hair get dirty and shit. I'm in.
And then it cuts to him.
100%
It cuts to him
in.
walking through the town, just covered in
mud, and he's got this giant fucking beard. It's like, yep, I'm in.
That was
100% in.
That was one of the cool things about GTA 5 story mode is that you could customize the way that all the protagonists look.
Yep.
But I like how they kind of incorporated that Witcher 3, like your character, like things change on him over time as you play the game more.
Also, like, because Red Dead 1, you only had outfits. Like, you could change your outfits. The narrator told me, wear what you want to wear.
Wear whatever you want,
So that means you can be a dirty bearded guy in a dress if you want to.
I really, really hope so. I really hope there's like the GTA style of clothing in Red Dead. It seems like there would be. The shit they're the shit they're including into this Red Dead thing, it's like, man, you can get lost in this fucking game hard. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah.
They showed kind of like a bank heist holding up.
I'm sure that's going to be most of the story is heist, and then like what happens as Dutch's gang kind of just falls apart. I mean, I'm excited for this game a lot.
They are harping on hardcore the whole choices and consequences thing.
They really are.
Like I feel like they said that like every 20 seconds.
Hey man, more RPG in my Red Dead's fine with me. 100%.
I'm not opposed to it. I just hope that they live up to it, because I feel like a lot of open world games and RPGs talk about choice and consequences, and it's very rare that I feel like it impacts the game at all. So
Assassin's Creed moved to that hard, and I'll have more about that next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so far a lot of people are like, you're in Assassin's Creed, your choices really impact the story, which is awesome.
Because I feel like people just say it a lot, and it's like I'm hardly ever impressed unless it's a BioWare game. Like even in Fallout 4, I was like, choices don't really matter.
Sure, but but I don't know what Bethesda was doing with Fallout 4. Still one of Bethesda's best games ever.
It's a great game, just a bad RPG.
Yep.
Well, apparently in Red Dead 2, the hunting in it, because they kind of revealed like how many animals are in the game last week.
Did you see them? They listed all 200 animals.
I did. Yeah, I was
they did
impressed. But apparently the hunting in it, it really like, I was listening to an IGN video and they were talking about how they shot a deer, didn't really kill it, kind of grazed it, and it ran off, and then
Left a blood trail.
it like left a blood trail, came upon it, it was still alive. So then the act of like finishing it and killing it was very gruesome and dirty.
The hunting in the original Red Dead was awesome. It was one of my favorite
Yeah, it
parts about
was.
that game.
And all you did was like go to an area and wait for the thing to spawn and shoot it in the face.
GTA 5 had some hunting stuff in it, but they
It's terrible.
I thought it was pretty good, but they like
terrible
completely
because-
avoided after like the couple
Sure, it
missions.
was
that are
terrible
in
because
it.
Trevor was yelling in your ear the whole time.
Yeah, sure. But if you mute it, it's great.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Anything else about Red Dead, guys?
Buy it. Buy it
I think we're all
hard.
gonna buy it.
Buy it hard.
Buy it twice.
PlayStation, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as I at least have one person to play online with when it launches, I'm good.
PlayStation's Worldwide Studios chairman has confirmed that there will be no PSX this year. Actually, I forgot to put his name in there. Sean Layden, of course. On the PlayStation blogcast, he explained that with Spider-Man out, the company doesn't have much progress to show on their games. Quote, "We don't want to set expectations really high and then not deliver on that. It was a hard decision, but we have determined that this year we will not hold PlayStation Experience," end quote.
Good. That last year's PlayStation experience was lame.
Yeah, I think it was really telling because he goes on to say that like in 2019, like he really only talked about Dreams and Days Gone.
Dreams. What the fuck, man? That's the Game Informer cover of this month. Dreams.
Every time I see
that's
something
not-
new about Dreams, though, I'm very curious about
That's
it.
not the creation one, is it?
It is
yes.
the creation one.
Oh.
The one that was supposed to be out like 9 years ago.
But he really only talked about those two games, and so that gets me thinking like,
That's okay.
no, it's not bad. I had kind of thought that maybe like there was a chance that we could see Last of Us next year.
No. Didn't we say 2020 for Last of Us?
Yeah, but the way that they have been talking about it this last year just kind of made it seem like it was closer than I had initially
Maybe.
thought.
I don't know. We knew Days Gone was February, and then fuck Dreams. I don't give a fuck.
I don't
shit
think
about that.
they've even attached a date to Dreams.
What was the other? But there was another game we said for 2019 that was more than likely a thing, and it wasn't Last of Us. What was the other one?
Fuck, I don't know. Because the only
From E3?
PlayStation 4 exclusives that I really know about are Dreams, Days Gone, Last of Us, and then the Metal Gear Guys game.
Death
Stranding.
Stranding.
Yeah, that's not
Death
going to be this.
Stranding.
That's not
Oh
gonna
no,
be next
that's
year.
that. We'll be lucky if we get that on PlayStation 4. But those are like the only Sony exclusives that like really stick out in my mind for the foreseeable future. So, but that's I was just a little bummed because I thought maybe we would be seeing Last of Us slightly sooner. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a surprise. We did say when it was first announced 2020, so it's not shocking or anything.
At least we don't have to like see another like repeat Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. Just like E3 showing
Did you
it
guys
literally
see-
like
For
like
real.
4 different times.
For
Like,
real.
yep, same trailer.
I didn't put it in the news, but did you see that like the theme is going to be made in part with Skrillex?
yeah.
We already hear it. Like I think it's already. You can already hear the theme. I thought.
It
I
hasn't
mean,
come out yet.
I haven't been following
Not
it as
the-
closely as the two.
not
videos.
the
there is-
Skrillex,
oh, okay.
the Skrillex like
Sure.
mashup, and then they also when the game is released too, they'll release the they made like so originally they were going to collab on just like the main theme, but then through the collaboration I guess they were inspired,
Cool.
and they made another game or they made another song in the game as well.
Cool.
Did you also see that Haley Joel Osment is confirmed to be the voice actor of Sora?
Oh, that's good. He sure as hell does not sound like Sora in those trailers.
I just thought it was funny that like that it like I'm pretty sure in the trailers like that
Is that him?
I'm pretty sure that's
Does
him.
not sound like him in any way, shape, or form.
Who was I'm gonna ask a dumb question. Who was the English voice actor in the first two games?
Haley
It was
Joel
him.
Osment.
Really?
Did he
The
do the
science guy, yes,
he
he
did
did
do the
all-
first
yes,
one.
he
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, at this point, he's like 40, so maybe that's
yeah,
why he
no,
doesn't sound like Sora.
No. He just doesn't sound like an older Sora. Does that make sense?
I just and I've had this problem with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I feel like something is just off about the audio mix sometimes.
Yeah.
To where the voice is just too crystal clear over like everything else. And that's what sticks out to me in the trailers too.
In the trailers I've watched, it's like I've noticed that too, where like sometimes the characters will be talking and it's like the music completely stops, or it's like completely like super low, and it just sounds like it doesn't sound like they mixed the audio at all for the game. I noticed that in the couple trailers that I've seen too.
Yeah.
But I bet it's just because like those trailers are initially made in Japanese, and so they're being redubbed. So I bet it's them just trying to throw the audio together quickly so
Sure.
Maybe.
Americans can understand it.
Dumb Americans.
This is a long one. The creator of the Witcher series,
Andrzej
You got it.
Sapkowski.
yeah, there you go, Sapkowski,
Andrzej Sapkowski.
Andrzej Sapkowski.
Mike Wazowski.
It might be Andrzej, but it's
Something like
Polish.
Luckily, we don't use his first name that much longer. Is demanding further compensation from CD Projekt Red for the use of his IP.
Yeah.
CDPR released an official report claiming that Sapkowski is aiming to receive 6% of the profits, or $16 million in US dollars, earned by the developer from his property. CDPR says that it has, quote, legitimately and legally acquired copyright to Mr. Sapkowski's work, and, end quote, and that his demands are, quote, groundless, end quote. However, the developer has also expressed a desire to maintain a good relationship with the author and plans to put in an effort to resolve this matter amicably.
Sure.
I really like. I can hear it perfectly in my head. I don't know why that word doesn't work. Sapkowski originally agreed to allow CDPR to use his property for.
Did you ever notice whenever you stop reading, you say every single time?
Yeah, because I'm getting back to it. Don't judge me. I didn't judge you when you read shit. For one lump sum rather than a percentage of royalties over time, which the developer did offer. He declined the offer. Stop. And in an interview with Eurogamer said, quote, I was stupid enough to sell them the rights to the whole bunch. They offered me a percentage of their profits. I said, no, there will be no profit at all. Give me all the money right now, the whole amount. It was stupid. I was stupid enough to leave everything in their hands because I didn't believe in their success. But who could foresee their success? I couldn't. And that last quote right there is the most damning thing about
Yeah,
all
no
this.
shit.
Whenever I read that quote,
He's basically going after them for more profits, and then he just admitted saying, "Oh yeah, I was an idiot." It's like, yeah, now you're not going to get any profits. Bud.
yeah, that's not how that works. It's like just because you're like, oh, that was better than I thought. Like,
I just think, like, how fucking arrogant are you? That you're like, oh, this isn't going to be a success, so give me all the money right now because I don't believe in you, because I don't believe in giving my rights to someone that I think can do a good job with
I mean, it wasn't,
And then it blows up.
but it wasn't a success.
I mean,
Witcher 1 and 2 were not good.
I feel like
They
Witcher
just-
2 was where it started to take off.
Nope. I mean, if you look at, I would be insanely surprised if Witcher 2 on Xbox 360 sold more than 1 million copies. I'd be very surprised.
I mean, I wouldn't say it sold more than 1 million copies, but I would also say that, like, at the time, CD Projekt Red was such a small team that making a profit probably wasn't as hard.
Sure, maybe. Witcher 1 and 2 were not a success. I don't consider those successes.
I wouldn't
successes.
consider Witcher 1. Witcher 2, I don't really.
But Witcher 3, yeah, that blew up. And then there is no way to foresee it. But, you know, he should have gone after CD Projekt Red after Witcher 2, not Witcher 3.
I mean-
right? this is basically just going like, it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know. I'm usually good at analogies. I don't have a good analogy on this one. It's just dumb. It's a dumb time to go after him.
so doing the math, if he's asking for 6% of the royalties, and
Just
that
16 million.
which is 16 million, that would mean that total is roughly 266 million
Of the profits from Witcher 3.
of profits. Is that what he's going after? Witcher 3
Or the Witcher franchise.
Witcher franchise.
Oh, yeah, dude. There's no way Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 contributed that much. That's like a lot of Witcher 3.
Again, but I mean, it's a measure. Like, the measure of success it's not necessarily one number, right? Like, comparatively to the size of their team and the amount that they probably spent on the game, I would say that Witcher 2 could have been a success. Witcher 1, I would not say was a success in any definition of the word. Witcher 3, on the other hand, is a significant success, even more than Witcher 2 if it was a success.
I feel like he's just going after him now because now they're kind of back in the news with Cyberpunk 2077.
I mean, they're going after them because they've made the most successful RPG of this current generation.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying I mean, Witcher 3 came out how long ago?
And I also think that he holds something against
2014.
So why bring it up now?
Because it's, to an extent, it's like I kind of understand where he's coming from because it's the thing he created, right? Like this whole thing was only a success. CD Projekt Red is literally only a success because of something he created. And again, I sort of understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, he shouldn't have been such a freaking, cockbag at the beginning. But at the same, I sort of get it, right? I kind of understand it. I kind of understand it's like, fuck. He's not like being an ass about it. He's shooting himself in the foot. And he's like, man, I'm over here struggling to be a writer. I could totally use some of these profits that this thing that I created, it wouldn't be a thing if I didn't create it. I'd like to see some of these profits. I kind of get where he's coming from.
I understand
I think he
his
also
regret,
holds something against CD Projekt Red though, because he talks a lot of shit about the way that they've handled the IP and the way that they've changed the story after his books. And I think that he also has taken it really personally that CD Projekt Red's interpretation of The Witcher is more successful than his books. He comes off in a lot of interviews when he talks about CDPR is just kind of an asshat and someone who's very bitter.
Sure.
Based on that last quote, that's not surprising.
So case in point, right? Like, there are things, Rich, this isn't a jab at you in any way, shape, or form. There are things that Rich has done in our current D&D campaign that you, me, Justin, some of us aren't certainly necessarily happy with where our characters went. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. So
yeah, I think we're agreeing.
Right, but he can be an ass. You know what I mean? Like he can not agree where CD Projekt Red took his series because he didn't see it going in that direction.
I'm not saying
he can.
I'm not saying that he can't do that. I'm just saying that I think that fuels a little bit why he's going after CD Projekt Red in the way he is.
Sure, and
I think that it's more personal for him, and than people would initially suggest. I don't think it's necessarily only profits driven. He can feel however he wants about
absolutely.
it. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that anytime this guy talks about his IP, he just doesn't sound like a decent fellow.
I think any
that's looking for fair compensation.
I think any creator would feel like that. I think anybody who created something and didn't see it through to the very end, but somebody else did and went off the beaten path, I think any creator would feel like that. Personally, I would. If I had started writing the greatest song ever written and died before I finished it and somebody else finished it and I heard it from the afterlife and it wasn't what I envisioned, yeah, I'd be a little like, God damn it, they fucked it up. God damn it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the other thing that I've kind of been reading about a little bit too is how much CD Projekt Red has wanted to get him involved in what they're doing and how he just keeps them at an arm's length and has kind of treated them like, a redheaded stepchild rather than be cooperative on this.
Sounds like an author. It took George Martin years to finally actually come out of his little fucking writer shell and actually make something more of Game of Thrones.
I don't want to be another person that's trying to suck CD Projekt Red off because they don't need me to, but just in the way that I think that they've handled it from the beginning, I feel like they've always tried to be fair to him, and he's always just kind of been bitter back to them.
Sure.
They said they went on record and said that they initially offered him the royalty deal that he's asking for right now. That was the initial offer. But I don't know. It might also be I don't know his quotes, are they directly quote does he speak English or is it
I don't know. I don't know if that was a translated quote from Eurogamer. I don't know.
I think that matters too.
I mean,
just whenever I don't know. I feel like whenever you read things, especially from
CD
if
Projekt
they're
Red
Russian or German.
CD Projekt Red is Polish, right?
I think so.
I think they're Polish, and I believe a lot of Polish people speak English. So I don't know. I don't know where that. I know that quote came out way before this all started happening.
Gotcha. I feel like some sometimes other countries are a little bit more direct with like what they're saying, so they might come off a little bit more harsh or more like jerkish than like most Americans.
It's not being jerkish, it's being direct.
Yeah.
I don't think the problem is with what. Of course he said that, but I don't think the problem is that like he said that. I think the problem is that he felt that way and then feels this way looking at it in retrospect.
Yeah.
Like I think that is really telling.
Which is warranted.
Sure, I'm not saying it's not warranted. I'm just saying that like it doesn't make the guy look very good.
Yeah, I was just mainly
course it doesn't,
I was
but-
just mainly speaking to how you were saying like how the guy like sometimes comes across like with how he talks and speaks and treats the IP and stuff,
Yeah.
or how he treats
But
CD
again,
Projekt Red.
If any of us were put in this situation, I don't think anybody would have the opposite reaction of what he's
I mean,
happening.
If
I
I
also-
if I could have a conversation and potentially get $16 million from it, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to have that conversation.
But
Sure.
if I felt the way that he did at the time when he was giving the IP over to CD Projekt Red, I wouldn't have sold my IP. I think that's the bigger issue, is that you're allowing someone
Sure.
to use your IP, but you don't believe that they're ever going to be successful at it and that they're going to do a good job.
Sure.
I would
well, he-
never give Twin Stick Radio over to someone that I didn't believe would do a good job.
Sure,
with
of
it.
course not.
He
but
probably didn't believe in his IP as much then as he does now, though. Like, they were offering him however much money initially, and then he's like,
Sure,
okay,
but, like-
sure. Like, you're going to
But
pay me that much
the
for
whole-
this?
My whole
Fine.
thing is that like I would never be in that position, regardless of how valuable my IP was. I would never be in that position where I would give over something that I owned and created to someone I did not believe would do a good job with it or be successful at it. First would be the good job, right? I would give it over to someone that I believe could treat it well, but I wouldn't give it to them if I did not believe in what they were doing, which is where he stood at. And for whatever reason that he sold it, like he has his reason to sell it. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, but like he put himself in this position because he didn't believe in selling his IP when he sold it.
or just needed money.
Yeah.
Money makes people do dumb things.
Especially for, I don't know if he wrote anything else, but for an author, I mean,
Yeah, he's had.
Depending
I'm pretty sure he's had 2 or 3 Witcher, maybe 2 books come out even after the Witcher series was a video game. I think.
yeah. But I mean, any author, I mean, heck, anybody can use extra money.
Oh yeah, and I would assume that's probably what that initial thing was. Was a driven thing. It's like, hey, we're offering you, X million dollars for your IP. It's like, oh yeah, I could really use that money.
Even
Sure.
X $100,000.
People,
you know?
people do it every freaking day. It's like, fuck, I need to pay electric. I'll go fucking pawn my Xbox.
Here's my kidney.
You know what I mean? Like people do it all the time. So, and it's a regrettable decision afterwards, but everybody does it. So,
So respect your IP.
sure.
A limited number of gamers will be able to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a limited time in Google Chrome for free. In 2 individual announcements by both Google and Ubisoft, I fucked that up. It was announced that Google's Project Stream will be testing out its capabilities by offering Assassin's Creed Odyssey through Google Chrome. The spots to join the test are limited, but players will have access on October 5th.
Cool.
Anybody got a Google Chrome here? No.
Google
Google
it's just
Chrome's a browser.
Well, the Google. Oh, like you can play it in the browser? I
Play
assume.
it in the browser.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was the Chrome. I thought I was thinking Chromecast, the stick that you plug into the TV.
Right. Yes, I have a Chromecast. But this is through the browser.
It kind of goes in line with all the stuff that Ubisoft has been talking about in terms of how they see streaming as the future of gaming. It's interesting though because this is only going to be offered to Americans, which I know is a huge market for Ubisoft, but
Why is that interesting?
because they're a French company.
But we have the best internet in the entire world.
I know. I'm just saying
I
that
don't
like
think. I don't think that's true.
That's 100% true.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's interesting that like this is a service that Ubisoft is partnering with an American company with. I know it's a huge company, but I would have assumed that like they would have focused this in France where they're based out of first rather than kind of jump on the streaming future train with
Yeah, maybe.
Americans.
Maybe.
So
Top 10 countries with the fastest internet speeds: South Korea, Ireland, Hong Kong, Sweden,
Ireland.
Netherlands, Japan, Switzerland, Norway.
But fastest doesn't mean best.
Allow me to research more. I'll get back to you.
Okay. I would assume America has some of the best internet in the world.
I've heard differing things on that.
Maybe not. Maybe other than Japan.
I wonder.
Also, let's be completely honest. Your market for Assassin's Creed probably is largely based out of the United States.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, but like, I the way that there's not as many. I mean, as far as I know, and I might be completely wrong about this, but I feel like Ubisoft's presence as a developer is mostly in France and in French Canada.
Sure, but
I mean, they just seem very patriotic about their own thing. Like, there's not even.
But they don't, because every game they make, like Watch Dogs, why not base it in Europe?
I'm just talking about in terms of where they develop from, not necessarily
I understand
what
that.
they're focused on.
I get that, but again, like if I'm testing out a service of streaming, I'm going to go to my biggest market to make sure it's going to work. Right. I'm going to go to where the most people are going to play this to make sure it fucking works. Sure. So you don't have like a goddamn Bungie issue where day one it's like, fuck, I can't even play the damn game because you don't have servers up for this shit, even though they're based out of Seattle.
And Google's headquartered in America too.
Yeah,
so.
that's true too.
Yep. Fortnite players rejoice. Sony is finally allowing crossplay between PS4 and every other version of the game. In a blog post, Sony Interactive Entertainment boss John Codera said, quote, following a comprehensive evaluation process,
Comprehensive evaluation process. That's code for taking our heads out of our asses.
SIE has identified a path towards supporting cross-platform features for select third-party content. We recognize that PS4 players have been eagerly awaiting an update, and we appreciate the community's continued patience as we have navigated through this issue to find a solution, end quote. Players appear to be able to access crossplay now, and Epic has revealed its plans to allow players to merge their PS4 and other platform purchases in November.
They did it, guys. They found the solution.
Found it. They found the button.
You know what that
they had to
solution
press.
is? That solution is that Season 6 started up this week, and people were probably looking at buying their season passes on other platforms besides Sony. And Sony was losing a shit ton of money on that, and they realized that they had to do something real fast.
They found the button.
It's crazy that a game like Fortnite would be the one to do it, though.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Fortnite is literally the biggest game in the world right now.
Sorry, it's not crazy now, but I'm saying like last year or something. Like I don't know. It's just crazy to think that this game that is
last year I would put my money on PUBG.
Right.
But again, what have I always said?
Yes, I know. But I'm just saying that it's just like this has been an issue for so long, and it took a game like Fortnite that is very popular. Yes,
the biggest game in the world. Probably going out on a limb here, might be one of the biggest franchises ever in video games up to this point.
I think Minecraft is still beating it. There was I saw somewhere today that Minecraft is the second most popular game of all time following Tetris.
Cool.
So I would say probably third. Solid
but
third.
so like a game like Minecraft or GTA 5 Online.
Well, Minecraft.
These games were huge that had crossplay.
Minecraft
maybe not GTA 5, but they had crossplay.
Minecraft would never be in this position because it's owned by Microsoft.
Right.
Rockstar doesn't care about crossplay. Like your accounts are all on 3 different platforms. You can't sync them at all. So I don't think Rockstar would push it. Fortnite has really been the only game that has been pushing for as hard for it, and it's the most popular game of the year since February. It's actually probably at this point had a further like growing trend than PUBG did last year.
I think so. Yeah.
So, and it's a free to play game where every microtransaction is more money in Sony's pocket. Mm-hmm. So I think that they were in the best position out of any other game that has multiplayer right now to make this happen.
I have a hard time thinking Minecraft has made more bubble money than Fortnite has.
Yeah, I don't know where that number. I don't know how that was
by
calculated.
By bubble money, I don't mean just microtransactions. I mean the amount of money Fortnite makes from their deals with Samsung. Because you buy a Note 9, Fortnite's already loaded onto the damn thing, and you get special content on your new notes, and a guy making $600,000 a month by playing Fortnite. Right, Fortnite's seeing a lot of that money. I just wonder how much the global Fortnite income. Well, actually, I would assume is more than Minecraft.
I would assume so too, because as far as I know, with Microsoft and Minecraft, Minecraft and Tetris, you buy those games and then
It's done.
they are those games.
Yeah.
So I would say in terms of profit, you're probably right. If Fortnite hasn't like out-earned Minecraft, it's probably going to in the near future.
Sure. That's why
Yeah.
I think it's always money. It's always money based.
But hey, now we got some form of crossplay between PS4 and Xbox.
I would say nobody cares, but that's not true. I don't care.
I
Any
mean,
way, shape, or
I mean, I
form.
think that's pretty. I mean, I think that's monumental.
The fact that it's Fortnite is not. The fact
No.
that Sony has allowed crossplay is. I think that's a bigger thing.
I mean,
That there's crossplay between a PlayStation and an
That
Xbox.
Sony has allowed crossplay. That is the biggest thing of this entire news story.
not to like be a extra Debbie Downer on this. I don't think it's monumental because it's just one title, and there have been titles in the past that have been crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. So I think it'll be a bigger deal when Everett can jump on his PC and play Destiny with Chris and I, or when like just any game I pick up, I know that I can just fucking play it with whoever.
Hey, remember where that's at. Ready?
Okay. I mean, you play Fortnite, don't you?
I mean, not in a very, very long time.
Oh, so you don't.
No,
So,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't
so
say that I play.
make your case for why you think it's monumental.
Well, what other games have been?
Are you still on the fact that it's Fortnite, not
No.
that Sony has made crossplay? Because that's pretty big.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general. Like, I'm not saying that Fortnite. That was one of my points, yes. But what I was saying was monumental is the fact that there's crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. What other games have been crossplay between the two?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I think there was a game in the PS2 and Xbox era that was crossplay between the two.
Okay.
I believe that there was one in the 360 era that might have been. And I also think
Check Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy 14. I also, Sony was kind of the first on the crossplay bandwagon anyways because Rocket League offered it. Maybe not
Yeah.
between Xbox and PlayStation, but when Rocket League launched on PlayStation 4, there was crossplay between that and the PC.
Yeah.
So I don't think, to me, it's like you can have individual cases where crossplay is a thing and that's really fucking cool. But at the same time, like I don't think it matters until it's universal.
But do you not think that this is the first step towards it becoming universal? And would that not make it monumental?
I don't. I mean, yes, of course, maybe it's the first step, but I don't know that it. I don't know that it's something that's going to happen tomorrow because it happened to Fortnite today. Like, abolishing slavery was great for civil rights, but it still took 70 years for us to like get on even the path to treating people of different races correctly.
Yeah,
and
but
even then, we're still figuring that shit out.
Well,
Sure,
not
but it
yeah,
still-
but not
it
only
still-
that, but
it
like
still
let-
happened. So your argument of like, well, just because the first step has been taken doesn't mean a change's not gonna or change isn't gonna happen or it's gonna take forever to change. It's like in 1969 we put a man on the moon. That was monumental, and that was the first step in space exploration.
But my going back to my original point though, Fortnite's not the first example of this. Like that, like everyone wants to pretend like it's a big deal that Fortnite won this case. It's not the first example of crossplay.
but it is
This was happening like 10 years ago.
but it's the first example of it in like in this modern era of gaming, to where like 3 weeks ago we were all just sitting here saying that Sony was not gonna do crossplay. Like
It's true.
Like it
All three of us said that.
is a hopeless.
100% that was not the case. 3 weeks ago, a month ago,
Okay.
when this issue first started, like I told you they were going to lose this fight and it was probably going to change sooner rather than later. Like I saw this coming for a month away.
I agree with Justin. I think it's pretty monumental because it's a pretty big deal to me. Not maybe monumental is a bad word, but it's a big deal. To me, it's a big deal because it's cool. Could open up crossplay to Destiny. Not crossplay, sorry. Cross saves between like Destiny, which means if I want to play on PC, I can like cross save. That's kind of like the biggest thing for me, right? Is maybe cross save can exist now.
Is that what you're more excited for?
Oh
Cross
yeah,
saves
yeah.
versus
Because like I
crossplay?
said, I've always wanted to play Destiny on fucking PC. but I just don't want to take the time to go from where I'm at on PS4, take that time to level.
PC,
right,
yeah.
right. But if there's a cross save function, then I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I can play on PC.
Yep, and I know Blizzard's working on that with Overwatch as well.
Sure,
That's
that
something they're
too.
focusing on.
Yeah. I think cross save is to me is a bigger deal than cross play. Because I don't know if I'd want cross play on Destiny. Maybe on consoles, because then maybe if I go to the blind well, somebody will actually be doing it. Because apparently when I go to do the blind well, I'm literally the only person on PS4 playing Destiny doing the blind well at any given time. Only person in the world.
It's that Destiny matchmaking, man.
Crazy.
Last up, earlier this morning, a Reddit user, Vape This Bro, leaked a video of what appeared to be an open-world Harry Potter RPG. According to the user, he was able to capture the video in a focus group for the game. He went on to say that the game would be a third-person RPG in which players will be able to customize their own fifth-year Hogwarts student and take them through a year at Hogwarts. Publisher WB Games immediately took the footage off of YouTube, although the internet seems convinced that Rocksteady is making the game. Kotaku believes, and a few sources have confirmed to other sites, that the game is being made by Avalanche Studios, the one behind Disney Infinity, not the one behind Just Cause.
Did you see this thing? Did you see the little video?
The video, yeah. It actually looks pretty cool.
Good shit.
Like, because I saw the news like headline title, and initially my thought was like, oh, this is gonna be like that mobile game that just came out like a few months ago.
Terrible mobile game.
And then I saw the gameplay of it, and I was like, this looks like a legit like Harry Potter world RPG.
Set in the 19th century, apparently. That's super cool.
Yeah, which is why
their sleeves are puffy.
Which is why I think why a lot of some sources are pointing towards Avalanche, because I don't remember how long ago it was, but there was a job listing that basically one of the requirements was someone who has a understanding of English culture and how to translate that to video games.
Oh, that's cool.
Which would make sense for it to be in the 19th century. Yeah, it looks cool.
I'm pretty pumped for this thing. I like, we were talking about this before. I don't like Harry Potter, but I like the world of Harry Potter.
Which is
super cool.
Like what this is.
Yeah,
it's
super
like,
cool.
Get rid of the...
It's like the expanded universe of Harry Potter. It's good shit.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Also, I'm really glad that Reddit over the past few years is becoming like more and more a news source.
Sure.
So that way we can see these articles that's like Reddit user vape this bro.
You also just have to dig harder, right? You have to dig real hard. So like there's this dude that's been leaking Destiny shit for like the last 2 years. And people like on Reddit have downvoted him and fucking called him an idiot, da-da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden Forsaken came out, and he's right. He's been right about everything. And like, there's even like, you go back and like, there's a guy that like just completely just tore him a new one. Why he's wrong. And then like right underneath it, it's the same guy like a year or two later going, man, I'm real sorry. How the fuck do you know? Who did you sell your soul to? Yeah. To figure out, to know all this stuff.
I just love the ridiculous names that go along
bro.
with it. Like, because it could be like a huge leak, and it's just like,
I want my PSN name to be able to change just so I can change it to Vape This Bro 69.
Do it.
I'm sorry, no, XX_69 Vape This Bro 69_XX.
It's the only way.
Yeah, all in elite. Every vowel is a letter. Has to be.
Jesus.
Anyway, I'm pretty excited for this Harry Potter thing. It's cool.
Same.
PlayStation Plus games were announced for the month of October. On PS4, you can get Friday the 13th and Laser League. Very different than the supposed, quote, leak from last week. But, you know. PS3, you get Master Reboot and The Bridge, which is cross-buy with Vita and PS4. And on Vita, you get Rocket Birds 2 Evolution, PS4 cross-buy, and 2064 Read-Only Memories, PS4 cross-buy.
No clue what any of these are other than Friday the 13th.
I was like, oh, that's...
What's Laser League?
Beats me.
Anything, Trey?
No,
Did you see the
don't know.
cover?
Nope. I haven't heard of it.
I saw the cover. It looked kind of like a Tron.
Okay, I might be in. Does it like Tron? Do you have disc fights?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking at now.
I might play Friday.
Actually,
Does it? Is it like Tron
just,
with Fusion
like
Frenzy?
just kind of just like
What the
based on
fuck?
like the images for it, it kind of looks like Tron.
Sure, why not? We'll call it a Tron ripoff.
It has the Tron aesthetic, maybe not gameplay.
I might play Friday the 13th.
It's free.
Yeah, friend of the show, Greg Miller, loved that game.
Yeah.
So,
I have it on Xbox.
do you? Is it good? Have you played it? Mm-hmm. Is it fun?
Uh,
If you're a camper, is it even worth playing?
Yeah, they've updated a lot to where it's pretty fun on either side.
Okay.
I personally enjoyed being a camper more than I did Jason.
And did you like out of 10 matches, how many did you survive? Just an estimate.
Maybe like 3 or so, and
Okay,
it also
I guess
depends
that's
on
not so bad.
depends on like how like good you get at the like you start to learn like how to play.
Sure. And can you communicate with the other campers if you're in close proximity of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you find there's an item, I want to say it's either a cell phone or
Like a walkie-talkie.
a walkie-talkie, one of the two. Yeah. If you have one of those items, I don't remember which one it was. You can communicate regardless of location.
Does it take place in the same timeline as Friday the 13th? Because if it does, then cell phones didn't exist because it was like 1980 something.
And then it was a radio.
Unless it's like one of the Zach.
I think it
Morris
is one of the.
cell
I
phones.
think it is
Okay,
one of
fair
those.
enough.
That's which is why I don't know if it's a radio or a cell phone
Fair
because in my mind that's like the same thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and since it'll be free, and because it's spooky October, I think a lot of people will be playing it, which is good because it's like.
It's more fun when you actually
It's
have
fun
a
when
lobby
you
of
have like a
people.
full
Sure.
camp and
That was one thing about Dead by Daylight on PC. Like it felt like it took forever to get an actual match going, and you only needed 3 survivors and a
Survivors,
killer.
yeah.
And this one, there's like 7 survivors and a killer,
Yeah.
or 7 campers and a killer,
Something like that,
So you're looking
yeah.
for 8 in a matchmaking game. And if Destiny has anything to do with it, finding 8 people to do something takes fucking forever. So
Yeah, I think you'll have fun if you pick it up this month. I think you'll have fun.
it all comes back to Destiny.
I'll get Friday the 13th, and I'll play it with you.
Why don't you just get Destiny and play that with us? Because it'll be us
but
instead of just you.
But spooky October.
If you guys like what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, the Google Play Store, on YouTube, anywhere you can find a podcast. We're probably there. You can follow the show on Twitter at Twinstick Radio or on Facebook at facebook.com/Twinstick Radio. We are all on Twitter as well. I am at Darth Trey. Chris is at Short Change Hero with a 3 instead of the E in Hero. And Justin is at Justin T. Lopez. Show is produced by Everett. Give him a follow on Twitter at The56th. All letters, no numbers, TH at the end. Show is edited by Connor Manning. Follow him on Twitter at Connor13, one in Connor, 13 spelled out. And follow the stuff he does for Downstream Studios at downstreamstudios.com. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.